Hello, everybody. Steve Lentini. Happy Tuesday morning. I am the published author of 30 Days to a New You. Imagine 30 Days to a New You. I'm a contributing author. This book is published by Justin Sachs of Motivational Press, and he invited me to be a contributing author. I'm also the author of Sales Success for the Rookie. I'm sorry these show up backwards. I'm not sure why Google share why this happens. I'm using Webinar Jam, by the way, which is a great webinar platform. And so anyway, I'm the author. This is on Amazon, Sales Success for the Rookie, How to Succeed at Sales Right from the Start. And Motivational Press is my publisher. They're a great company if you want to publish a book. It's not an upfront, I paid everything type company. Maybe they do that offer that service somewhere too. Where you pay to publish, but in this case, they approached me and they were very great to work with. They edited the book and then arranged to publish publicity for the book and published the book and printed it. And here it is on Amazon. So they're a great company. If you have questions, call me. I'll give you my contact information at the end. So today, in my weekly reinforcement training, I give people some ideas about how to become more productive in their sales effort, their sales lives, how to think bigger in their sales lives. I often use the acorn. Sorry for leaving the camera, but here's the acorn. This is limited thinking, right? And I give examples of limited thinking. In fact, my new book is Small-Minded Thinking, How to Know If You Have It and What You Can or Could Do About It. So, and so I work with people about expanding their thinking. I've been coaching people for over 30 years about the places that they get stuck. Right now, this year, I'm coaching 18. I just added a new client, 18 people, and some of them are involved in large companies. I'm coaching for a $1 billion software company. I'm coaching some leaders of the company, and I'm also coaching for a medical device company, a very large public company, coaching their VPs of sales, and then I coach a lot of individual small business owners, medium-sized business owners, and I coach individual salespeople who and entrepreneurs who bring me on to help expand their vision and figure out where they're stuck. And sometimes it's obvious to me. They can tell me the story, and I can help them over the hump. And so today I wanted to talk about a couple of different things. One is every company I go to has, when I ask them about the bid file or the closed, the presentation file, the proposal file, it's always much larger than the closed sale file. So I've talked with companies that are doing 20, 30, 40 proposals, 50 proposals, 100 proposals a week. That's what they're sending out. 50 weeks, 100 proposals is 5,000 proposals. 20 a week is 1,000 proposals. And when I ask some of the companies, like, well, how does that translate into customers or projects that you actually close? And I've had numbers, let's say on 1,000, I've had numbers where the close would be somewhere between 1 and 2 a week, not 2 a week, which would be 100 a year, but 1 to 2. So maybe it's 75 a week. And it seems to me to be a lot of energy to end up with 1,000 proposals to end up with 75 jobs. Here's the thing. So to become more productive, even with individual salespeople, I find often, especially as they're younger, and I'll explain the difference, younger salespeople tend to get enrolled in what I call the client's system or the future client system, which looks like this. Here, take this and give me your pricing and give me your proposal, and then we'll accept it and review it. And so immature young salespeople will run out of a business with a list of things to price, for example, to a request for quote or to work to do a price list is not a sale. It's not a sale. And it's not even an opportunity. It's to slow people down and say, wow, thank you for this. I'm grateful, right? You're grateful, except that you're also kind of stunned This is really not what we do. You know, I'd love to give you some pricing, but first I want to understand, are you even considering making a change? And who do you have now? And what do you like about them? What don't you like about them? What if you didn't do anything to change? What if you just stayed the way things were? Some people are better off staying the way they were. They will live with whatever the problems are rather than make a commitment to change because they don't want to be uncomfortable. So you got to find that out. And it's more mature salespeople that'll usually, after they have the experience over the years of doing all the quoting and all that labor, and they don't get anything, or they understand the ratio between proposal and closing is disconnected if you don't do what I call the pre-qualification work, right? Or even the disqualification work up front. It's important to do that up front. And so in your mind, if you have a system that you follow, which would look like this, you would spend some time bonding, then you tell the prospect or the future client, I like to call them, or the client, what your process is, how you do things, how you like to do things. And then if they offer you, well, here's my price list, this is what we like to do, why don't you price it and get back to me? Then you could tell them, okay, you know, thank you, it's wonderful, it's not what we do. And so the idea is to invite people into a further dialogue. You have to have questions like the ones that I just laid out. All right, I'm a little confused about doing a price list. I mean, I'm not even sure that you're unhappy. I mean, would you change? What about their service? Do you like what service you're getting from the company currently? Do you like the sales rep? Do you like all the service team? Are you happy with everything the company does for you? What if you didn't change? What if you just stayed the way you are? I mean, you know, some people have a pain in their business, but it's not big enough to make whatever the investment is or to become uncomfortable enough to bring somebody new in to help them change. This is really, a lot of times, it's the obstacle to change. Some companies, I've been in a lot of family businesses over my 40 years. Some companies have so many people on the leadership team, and each person has their own agenda. They don't want to bring anybody new in or a new service or make a change because it upsets the status quo. I have news for you. If you're not going to get uncomfortable, you're not going to have a new future. No one has a new future if they're not going to get uncomfortable. So, and that's what I do with the individual salespeople. They have to do something new that I coach. And I do the same thing with the sales teams, the vice presidents of sales, the sales leaders that I coach. Everyone has to start doing something new to have something new. If you don't want something new, if things are working, that's fine. I'm not talking to those members of the audience. The people that I'm speaking to are the people that want to have a different future. They want to become more productive. They want to work less and make more. And it's possible. It's what are you spending time on? And do you have a filter? So the other thing is that people who just accept a price quote have no filter about where will they walk away. They don't have the picture in their mind of the ideal client, the second ideal client, maybe the third ideal, less than the ideal, but still acceptable, still profitable for the company, still productive. And then you have the level below that where you walk away. Do you have a level of where you walk away? Some salespeople don't have it. Some companies don't have it. So the idea is to get that proposal file, that RFQ file down to a manageable ratio, and you work on it over time. So I've said to a number of companies, let's go through the proposal file. Let's go through the ones you didn't close, right? The proposal file, the request for quotation file, the bid file, whatever you call it. And let's look at the story it tells us, because it tells us the story. Maybe it tells you a certain market that you just reject right up front. Now you don't even do those. No, okay, I'm sorry, that's not a fit for us. Thank you for the opportunity. Here's what is a fit for us. So if these come across your desk, this is what we're looking for. And you can use the moment to educate people, and you can also educate them as to why it's not a fit. Do they have things that are unprofitable for their company? Do they have things that don't work for them, or what they would consider less than ideal, and a place where they don't serve well? I'm sure most of your customers have those same places, and they'll understand it if you explain it to them. So you need, number one is to learn how to get that proposal file down, to learn how to get the ratio between proposals, bids, and closed sales. You don't want the closed sale file to look like this. Somebody said to me, oh, our closed file. I said, where's the closed file draw? You mean the draw and a half, or you mean the 2 draws? I was in a company once that had a bank of file cabinets with the lateral draws that pulled out. And I said, what are those file cabinets? He said, oh, those are all the presentations, proposals, and bids that we've done. Oh, and they're closed? The clients that you have? No. Those are just the bids. Here's the closed file, and it was 1 draw compared to like 6 or 7. It was amazing. So when you get that ratio down, you'll find the company's much more productive, and your salespeople aren't wasting time. See, a lot of times salespeople are hiding out, or team members are hiding out. I'm swamped. I've got all these bids to do. Wait a minute. Let's look at them. Should we even be doing the bids is the question. So how do you get to that state? You get to that state, if you're new, by being detached from outcomes. Although I've worked with mature people that any kind of activity is good activity to them. That's not true. Any kind of activity is not good activity unless it fits within your definition of good activity. And a lot of people don't define it. So number one, you need to be detached from outcomes, right? So you can't be thinking, oh, got one. Oh, great, another request for quotation. You can't be in that space of, it's not a good idea to be in that space. If you can, it's a choice. So you choose not to be in the space of, we take anything and we're going to bid on it. We're going to see what happens. That's how we get our foot in the door. No. I can't tell you how many customers people have tried to manage into profitability, and it just doesn't work if upfront it was not going to be profitable. It's not something you turn into profitability over time. And if you're training the prospect, the future client, if you're training your clients and your future clients that this is what we do, we bid, how can you expect that you'll have something different until you begin to train them? You begin to educate them. You're the one with the boundaries. And you're going to help them here whether they need you or not in the sales process. You're going to help them here by having questions. You're disqualifying questions or qualifying questions, whichever way you want to define that. Doesn't matter. I like disqualifying because in my mind, I don't tell them that. And in my mind, I'm looking for who are the people that aren't a fit. I'd rather know if it's going to be no early on. Okay, so you detach from outcomes, number one. You're not you don't have what I call commission breath. You're there in the space of looking for who's a good fit. That's what your job is, to find the good fit, the people that hit the sweet spot of the company, help the company become more productive, help the company be more profitable. Do you even have those conversations as a company? And then are you individually coaching people? If you're a salesperson on the team, imagine what you would look like if you're working with me or listening to these webinars and you're getting ideas about becoming more productive, and you go to the boss and say, hey, let me look at who's most productive. Like what's the sweet spot of our customers? If they're not educating you, then you do the self-education. Where are we ideal in your mind? Who are the most profitable customers that we have now? I want to model them and go after them. Those are going to be my targets. Wow, that'd be great. So you detach from outcomes. Number two, you do the work, right? You start to look at where is the walkaway point? The ideal, the next ideal, the third ideal. Where do we walk away? So you establish boundaries and you understand where to walk away. Number three, now you develop the questions that you can ask. So you have a number of questions that you ask. And again, they're different depending on the customer, depending on the situation. You have questions that you ask. Number three, you're there. Number four, you're there to help them to buy. You're there to help them buy. So what's helping them buy? I heard Herb Chambers is advertising in Boston. We don't sell you a car. We help you buy one. That's what I've been teaching for 25, 30 years. And I learned it the hard way by knocking on doors and being on the street and doing it the old-fashioned way, doing a lot of talking, what they call the spiel. It even sounds strange today. And if you're doing a lot of talking, you're not selling. You're not selling. Can you sell? Yeah, you can. You can. But that's not the way to sell today. It's a waste of breath, a waste of energy, and most people don't trust it. You're not building trust if you're talking a lot. That's how it works. The client needs to be, the future prospect needs to be talking, or the client needs to be talking 70 to 75% of the time. So you build questions. One, you're detached from outcomes, right? You're there to help. And two, you have boundaries that you set. Where's the walkaway point? Three, you have questions. Four, you're there to help people buy. That's your new philosophy. And you'll be amazed at how you close people. I've closed multiple $1 million sales, multiple $1 million clients and prospects over the years, helping people buy. And in a few cases, some of them, again, both over $1 million sales, I walked away totally with the idea that if they needed me, they could call me. But it sounded like they were all set and they agreed. I mean, they had told me, Steve, we can't buy from you. Without going into the whole story, it's in my book, Sales Success for the Rookie, How to Succeed at Sales Right from the Start. That's me, Steve Lentini. And it's published by Motivational Press. It's on Amazon. So you can read about those stories. I know it works. If you're stuck, I can help coach you. If you need a new way to think of things, if there's a lot of stuck people in your team, if the leadership team needs a new way, sometimes maybe the owners have to make the decision, right? You make the decision and we got to do something different. And you work to make people a little uncomfortable, because the only way you're going to have a new future is to do things differently. So squeeze that presentation file down. Get your people to be more productive. Remind them, some people, as I said earlier, think that, hey, bids are work. And that's what they do. They hide out saying, we got a lot of bids. We got a lot of proposals, RFQs, going crazy. And the boss thinks, wow, this is great. We got a lot of great activity. And then you find out you did 1,000 or 1,100 bids or 2,000 bids or RFQs, proposals, again, all lumped into a draw of we didn't close these. And we got a closing draw of 100 or 75 with 1,000 proposals. I mean, think of the ratio. You want to at least cut that in half and maybe more. It should be, if you're going to win 75 jobs, you could be doing 300 proposals where you hone in on the ones that are really sweet spots that you spend your time on and you go after. Have some great meetings. Make that part of I'm glad you sent us a proposal. We have to have a meeting. We have to send our team by. So you make that one of the disqualifiers. No, we don't let anybody in. You just bid. We're looking for the lowest bidder. Okay, it's not what we do. Thank you so much. Here's what we do. If you come across it, we like to help people with X. We like to help people become more productive, more profitable. We have a great service team. And so we spend our time with prospects and future clients and customers that are interested in being productive. And we get in and get out and do our job right. And so we get a little extra for that. And we're proud of it. If you got a job like that, great. Send it our way. All right. So I'm Steve Lentini. Steve Lentini, L-E-N-T as in Tom, I-N-I, Lentini. And you email me at steve@stevelentini.com. You phone me, 917-805-1088, 917-805-1088. Thank you.